Speaking English fluently is not just about knowing words. It's about training your tongue, lips, and mouth muscles to move in a new way. Just like learning to play the guitar or ride a bicycle, your mouth also needs physical training. The more you practice speaking correctly, the more natural and effortless it becomes.
Welcome to Bookwaves Audio.
You are about to begin a journey that will transform the way you speak English forever. Most people try to learn English by memorizing grammar, vocabulary, and rules, but still they struggle to speak naturally. The reason is simple. They never trained their mouth. In this audiobook, you will learn how to shape your mouth to produce English sounds clearly and confidently. You will discover simple exercises to improve pronunciation, rhythm, and flow. You will learn how to think in English, connect words naturally, and overcome the fear of speaking. So take a deep breath. Relax your face and jaw. This is your time to practice, to grow, and to sound the way you've always wanted. Every chapter will help you train your mouth, step by step, so you can speak English like you were born to do it. You don't need a perfect accent. You just need to be clear, confident, and comfortable. Now, let's begin your training. Chapter 1. Understanding how English sounds work. The first step in training your mouth is understanding how English sounds are different from your native language. English has a unique rhythm, sound pattern, and mouth movement that make it sound natural and alive. When you understand how these sounds work, you can begin to control them and make your speech clear and smooth. Think about this for a moment. Every language uses different muscles in the face, jaw, and tongue. Some languages are spoken with a relaxed mouth, while others use sharper, shorter sounds. English sits somewhere in between. It uses smooth connections, soft sounds, and changes in stress that give it rhythm and flow. Your goal in this chapter is not to sound like someone else, but to learn how English works, so your mouth can move in the right way. Start by paying attention to mouth position. In English, your lips, tongue, and teeth often work together in ways that may feel unfamiliar. For example, the TH sound requires your tongue to touch lightly between your teeth. The R sound is made deep inside the mouth, not at the front. These small details make a big difference. Try this simple exercise. Place your hand under your chin and say the word English. Feel how your jaw drops slightly, your lips move smoothly, and your tongue glides from one sound to another. Now say the same word again, slower, and focus on each movement. You are training your mouth to understand how English feels. The next part of understanding English sounds is stress and rhythm. In your native language, every word might sound equally strong, but in English, some syllables are stronger and longer than others. For example, in the word beautiful, the first part bow is strong, and the rest flows naturally. English rhythm is like music. You don't need to sing it, but you must feel it. Listen to how native speakers talk in everyday life. Notice how their voices rise and fall, how they stretch some words and shorten others. That's what makes English sound alive. If you only speak in a flat tone, it sounds robotic. But when you use rhythm, it becomes natural and expressive. One of the best ways to improve is to imitate, not translate. Many learners make the mistake of thinking in their own language first, then trying to say it in English. This slows down your brain and your mouth. Instead, listen to how English sounds and copy it directly, sound by sound, rhythm by rhythm. Don't worry about meaning at first. Just train your mouth. Here's another exercise. Choose a short English phrase, something simple like "How are you today?" Listen to a native speaker say it, then repeat it exactly as you hear it. Focus on the speed, tone, and movement of your mouth. Record yourself if you can, and compare. You'll notice where your sound changes, and where you can improve. It will feel strange at first, but your brain will adjust. Remember, your mouth is a set of muscles. Just like going to the gym, you need repetition to build strength and flexibility. The more you practice English sounds, the easier it becomes. At first, your mouth might feel tired or awkward. That's normal. You're training new habits, new movements, and new coordination. Another important part is listening deeply. When you listen to English, focus not only on words but on how they sound. Notice how speakers move from one sound to the next, how their voices rise and fall, and how their lips and tongue move. The more you observe, the faster your mouth learns. You can also try mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and watch your mouth as you speak English. Compare your mouth shapes with those of native speakers in videos. Adjust your tongue and lips until your mouth movements match what you hear. This visual feedback helps your brain and muscles align. So from today, start paying attention to how English sounds. The rhythm, the stress, and the mouth shape. Listen more, imitate more, and speak more. Your mouth is your instrument, and with practice you can make it sing in English. By the end of this first chapter, you should understand that speaking English fluently is a physical skill as much as a mental one. Your brain learns the sound patterns, and your mouth learns the movements. Together, they create fluency. Don't rush the process. Training your mouth takes time. The goal is not speed, but clarity and comfort. If you practice correctly every day, even for 10 minutes, you will notice real improvement within weeks. Take a moment now to say this: I am training my mouth to speak English. Feel the movement, feel the sound. This is how your transformation begins. Chapter 2: The Power of Listening Before Speaking. Before you can speak English well, you must first learn to listen deeply. Listening is not a passive skill. It is an active form of training for your ears, your brain, and your mouth. The more carefully you listen, the more accurately your mouth can reproduce the sounds you hear. Most people believe speaking comes first, but in reality, listening is the foundation. Every baby learns language by listening for months before saying a single word. Their brain collects sound patterns, rhythm, tone, and emotion. When they finally speak, it feels natural because their mouth already knows what to do. As an English learner, you need to follow the same path. You must listen to English in a focused, consistent, and meaningful way. The goal is not just to understand the meaning, but to hear how English feels, how words connect, how voices rise and fall, how rhythm and emotion flow together. Your ears train your mouth. When you listen to a native speaker, your brain builds a sound map, a memory of how English should sound. This map guides your mouth when you speak. If your listening is weak, your sound map will be blurry. But if you train your listening every day, your sound map becomes sharp and detailed. Your mouth will automatically copy what it hears. When you listen to English, focus complete. Don't treat it like background noise. Choose one short clip, maybe a 1-minute conversation, podcast, or audiobook segment. Close your eyes and listen carefully to every sound, every pause, every breath. Notice the melody of the voice. This deep attention rewires your brain to catch the small details of English. You can't catch everything the first time. Listen to the same clip more than once. The first time, just relax and enjoy it. The second time, focus on pronunciation. The third time, focus on rhythm and connection between words. With each repeat, you will hear new things that you missed before. This repetition builds what's called muscle memory of the ear. You start predicting sounds before they happen. That's when your listening becomes powerful. Another powerful method is shadowing. Play a short piece of audio and repeat it immediately, word by word, almost at the same time as the speaker. Don't pause. Don't translate. Just follow the rhythm and sound. At first, it will feel difficult. You might stumble or get behind. That's okay. Keep going. Your goal is not perfection, but synchronization. Over time, your mouth will start moving automatically in the English rhythm. You'll start to sound more natural without even trying. Try this simple practice. Play 10 seconds of an English video, repeat it out loud, trying to match the tone and speed. Then play it again and improve a little each time. You'll be amazed how fast your pronunciation, tone, and confidence grow. Many learners spend too much time listening to textbook recordings. Those voices are often slow and artificial. Real English is different. It's fast, connected, and full of emotion. That's why you should listen to real people podcasts, interviews, movies, or audiobooks. Real English gives your brain real training. You'll hear how people actually speak, not how books imagine they do. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Focus on sound and flow. Meaning will come naturally with time. Your body also listens. When you hear English, notice how it feels. The energy, the mood, the emotion behind the words. English is not flat. It has waves, movement, and color. When you listen with emotion, you remember faster and speak more naturally. For example, listen to someone say good morning, good morning. You can hear the brightness and warmth in their voice. Try to copy that feeling, not just the words. This emotional listening helps your mouth reproduce the same life and energy when you speak. Choose voices you enjoy. Maybe your favorite actor, YouTuber, or audiobook narrator. Listen to them often. When you enjoy the voice, your brain learns faster. You begin to copy their sound naturally because it feels good. You can even create a listening habit every morning. Spend 10 minutes listening to clear, natural English before you start your day. Over weeks, your ear becomes sharper, your pronunciation smoother, and your confidence stronger. So, from today, train your ears first. Listen consciously. Listen actively. Listen with curiosity. Every sound you hear is one more step toward fluent speech. Your mouth learns what your ears love. Good speakers are great listeners. If you listen deeply every day, you'll speak clearly every day. Listening fills your mind with patterns your mouth can copy later. You don't need to force English out of your mouth. Let it flow from what you have already absorbed through your ears. Chapter 3. Building pronunciation muscle memory. Your mouth is a tool. Just like a dancer trains their body, or a musician trains their fingers, you must train your mouth to move in a new way. English uses different muscles, shapes, and movements than your native language. To speak clearly and confidently, you need to build pronunciation muscle memory. That means your mouth, tongue, and lips must learn to move automatically in the rhythm of English. When you first start, it feels strange. Your tongue may not know where to go. Your mouth might feel stiff or tired. That's normal. It simply means your muscles are learning something new. Think of it like going to the gym. The first time you exercise, your body feels sore, but with time and repetition, the movement becomes easier, smoother, and more natural. The same thing happens when you train your pronunciation. Start small. Take a few simple words that are common in English but may be difficult for you to pronounce clearly. Practice them slowly and exaggerate the movement. Feel your tongue, your jaw, your lips. Notice how they change shape to make different sounds. For example, when you say the word think, the tongue touches behind your top teeth, and air passes softly between. When you say that, your tongue touches the same spot, but with more vibration. These little details matter. They are what make English sound natural. The most important thing to remember is this: your brain cannot fix pronunciation if your mouth never moves. You have to speak out loud. Reading silently in your head will not train your muscles. Listening helps your brain learn the sound, but speaking helps your mouth remember it. Every time you speak, even a single word, you are programming your muscles to move correctly next time. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Pay attention to how the sounds feel, not just how they sound. This feeling is what builds muscle memory. Once you become aware of your mouth, you can begin repetition practice. Repetition is the secret ingredient of pronunciation improvement. The more you repeat a sound, the more automatic it becomes. The best way to do this is to repeat short phrases or sentences many times until your mouth moves easily. You might say, "How are you doing today?" 20 times in a row. At first it might feel forced, but then you'll notice it begins to flow naturally. Your mouth will start to remember the movement without you thinking. Another useful exercise is mirroring. Find a short video of a native speaker, watch their lips, notice how their mouth moves. Then pause and try to copy exactly what you saw. You can even record yourself and compare. At first, the difference will be big, but if you practice every day, you'll start to sound closer and closer to the real rhythm. When you repeat, keep your voice relaxed. Don't try to sound perfect. Focus on rhythm and comfort. It's okay to make mistakes. Each repetition teaches your muscles a little more. Over time, your tongue will start to find the right positions automatically. That is muscle memory in action. Pronunciation is not only about single sounds, it's about how words connect. English has a natural flow that links one word to the next. When native speakers talk, they don't separate every word clearly. They blend sounds together. For example, want to becomes wanna, and going to becomes gonna. These connected sounds make speech faster and smoother. When you practice, try to include this natural connection. It helps your mouth adapt to real-life English rhythm. Breathing also plays a role. Many learners forget to breathe properly while speaking English. They rush their words and lose control of their voice. Good breathing keeps your speech steady. Take a deep breath before you start a sentence. Let your breath support your sound. Speaking English should feel like singing softly, smooth, controlled, and full of rhythm. Here's a daily practice routine you can follow. Choose one short English video or audio, about 30 seconds long. Listen carefully, then repeat it aloud, matching the tone and speed. Do it 5 times in a row. The next day, choose a new clip. Over a few weeks, your pronunciation muscles will become strong. You will notice your words sound clearer, smoother, and more natural. It's important to stay patient. Muscle memory takes time to build. At first, it might feel like you're not improving, but every small effort adds up. Just like learning to play the guitar or ride a bicycle, your body learns through repetition, not through thinking. The more you speak, the more your mouth learns to find the right shape without effort. Never be afraid to exaggerate in practice. Stretch your sounds. Move your lips more than usual. Play with tone and rhythm. This exaggeration helps your muscles grow flexible. When you speak normally, your pronunciation will feel easier and more confident. Try speaking English out loud every day, even if no one is around. Talk to yourself about your day, your plans, or your thoughts. The more you use your mouth to create English sounds, the more fluent and natural you become. Building pronunciation muscle memory is about consistency, not talent. Anyone can do it with time and attention. Your goal is to make English movements feel natural. When your mouth knows what to do, your brain can focus on meaning and confidence instead of worrying about sounds. So from today, speak out loud every day. Repeat, shadow, mirror, exaggerate, and enjoy the process. Your voice is a muscle, and it gets stronger each time you use it. With every sound, you are training your mouth to speak English naturally, clearly, and confidently. Chapter 4. Breaking the fear of speaking. The biggest barrier to speaking English is not vocabulary or grammar. It is fear. The fear of being judged, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of sounding silly or wrong. This fear holds millions of learners back from ever becoming fluent. You may know the words, understand the grammar, and even think in English, but when it is time to speak, your mouth freezes. You stay quiet. To train your mouth to speak English, you must first free your mind from this fear. Speaking is not just about sound, it is about courage. It is about being willing to make mistakes and keep going anyway. The truth is, no one speaks perfectly, not even native speakers. Every language is full of small errors. restarts, and hesitations. The difference is, fluent people don't let those mistakes stop them. They keep speaking. They move forward even when they are not perfect. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever. Confidence does not come before speaking. It comes after speaking. You build it through action. Every time you speak, your confidence grows a little stronger. Every time you stay silent, fear grows instead. The first step to overcoming fear is acceptance. Accept that you will make mistakes. Accept that you will sound different. Accept that sometimes people might not understand you. That is not failure. That is learning. Every mistake is a lesson that shapes your progress. When you accept imperfection, fear loses its power. Next, remember that most people are not judging you. They are listening to your message. They want to understand what you are saying, not how perfect your pronunciation is. When you focus on communication instead of perfection, your speech becomes more natural and relaxed. People care more about your ideas than your accent. Think about a time you spoke with someone who was learning your language. Did you laugh at them or admire them for trying? Most likely, you respected their effort. The same is true for you. People respect courage. They respect anyone who tries. To start breaking your fear, speak small. Begin with short, safe situations. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Read a paragraph out loud every morning. Describe what you see around you in English. Say what you feel, even if it is only 1 or 2 sentences. The goal is not to be perfect but to move your mouth. Every small moment of speaking is a victory. Once you get comfortable talking to yourself, move to the next level. Speak to another person. It can be a friend, a family member, or someone online. Don't wait for the perfect conversation. Just start with simple greetings, short questions, or small talk. Each time you do this, you build mental strength. You teach your brain that speaking English is safe, that nothing bad happens when you open your mouth. Fear lives in silence. The more you speak, the smaller it becomes. Speak even when your heart beats fast. Speak even when your voice shakes. Each word is an act of courage. Each sentence is a step toward freedom. Here's a helpful mindset to remember. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Every word you speak today is practice for tomorrow. Fluency is not about speed or accent. It is about flow. The more you speak, the easier that flow becomes. Another powerful way to break fear is to record yourself. Choose a topic you like and talk for 1 minute in English. Don't stop or edit. Then listen back. You may hear mistakes, but you will also hear progress. Do this every few days. Over time, you will notice your voice becoming clearer and more confident. You will see that your biggest enemy was not your accent, but your own doubt. Also, change how you think about mistake. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I practiced." Every mistake means you try. Every wrong word means you were brave enough to speak. Success in language learning belongs to those who try again and again. You can even make fear your friend. When you feel nervous before speaking, recognize that it means you care. It means your body is alert, ready to perform. Use that energy to focus, breathe, and speak slowly. Nervousness is not the enemy. Silence is. If you feel shy around others, start in environments where mistakes are normal. Join language groups, conversation clubs, or online communities where everyone is learning. When you speak among learners, you realize that everyone is struggling with the same fear. You are not alone. Another trick is to visualize success. Before speaking, imagine yourself communicating clearly, smiling, and being understood. Picture the conversation going well. This mental practice tells your brain that speaking English is safe and positive. The more you visualize success, the easier it becomes to act it out in real life. Remember, Every confident speaker you admire once felt the same fear you do. They did not remove fear completely. They learned to walk through it. The secret is to take action even when fear whispers no. Over time, fear fades. What used to make your heart race will start to feel normal. Speaking English will no longer be something you fear, but something you enjoy. You will start to feel proud, not shy. You will start to see that courage, not perfection, is what makes a speaker strong. Fluency is built by brave moments, not perfect sentences. You already have what it takes. You just need to give yourself permission to speak. So from today, stop waiting. Stop holding your words back. You speak, even if it's slow, even if it's messy, even if it's not perfect. Each time you speak, you are breaking fear and building freedom. Speak to learn, not to impress. Speak to grow, not to prove. Speak because your voice deserves to be heard. That is how you train your mouth and free your mind to speak English with confidence. Speaking English clearly requires attention to the small details of sound. Every language has certain sounds that feel natural to its speakers, and English has many that may be new to you. To train your mouth to speak English fluently, you must focus on these sounds and practice them until they become automatic. Chapter 5. Mastering Common English Sounds. Start with the consonant sounds. Some letters in English are easy because they exist in your native language. Others, like the sound, the R and the V, may feel strange at first. The sound, for example, requires your tongue to gently touch your upper teeth while pushing air out. Many learners replace it with a D or T sound, but with practice, your tongue will find the correct position naturally. Repeat words like think, this, and that slow, noticing how your tongue moves. The R sound in English is another challenge. Your tongue does not touch the roof of your mouth. Instead, it curls slightly back, while the lips remain relaxed. Words like red, right, and river require this move. Start slowly, exaggerate the curl, and repeat until your mouth remembers the position. Vowels also matter. English has short and long vowels that change the meaning of words. Sit, seat, ship, sheep, bat, and bait all sound different. Pay attention to the length and shape of your mouth when you pronounce these words. Try exaggerating at first. Open your mouth wider for long vowels. Keep it small for short vowels. Your mouth will gradually learn the difference automatically. Combination sounds, or blends, are common in English. Words like play, street, and clean combine two consonants at the start. Many learners struggle because their tongue and lips are not used to moving so quickly. Practice each blend slowly, then speed up. Your mouth will gradually adapt to these new patterns. Daily repetition is essential. Choose a list of difficult sounds and spend 10 to 15 minutes every day practicing them aloud. Speak slowly at first, noticing how your tongue, lips, and jaw move. Gradually increase speed as your mouth becomes more comfortable. This builds muscle memory and confidence. Listening carefully while practicing is important. Hear the sound, feel your mouth imitate it, and compare with native speakers. Use videos, podcasts, or audio apps to guide you. Your ears and mouth must work together. The more you synchronize listening and speaking, the faster your pronunciation improves. Tongue twisters are excellent exercises. They challenge your mouth to move quickly while maintaining correct sound. Try phrases like red lorry, yellow lorry, or she sells seashells by the seashore. Start slowly, then increase speed. Tongue twisters train coordination, clarity, and speed all at once. Remember that mistakes are part of the process. You may mispronounce words or sound awkward at first. That is natural. Every mistake gives your mouth feedback. Keep practicing, and your pronunciation will become clearer and more natural over time. Practice also means speaking in real situations. Use the sounds you trained in conversation. Your mouth has learned the movement, and real-life speaking strengthens it further. Repeat phrases, read aloud, or describe your surroundings in English. Every time you use the sounds, they become more automatic. Breathing is another key. Many learners hold their breath or speak too quickly. Take a deep, relaxed breath before speaking. Let your voice flow naturally. Proper breathing supports clear pronunciation and keeps your speech steady. Finally, track your progress. Record yourself reading short passages, listen to yourself, notice improvements, and identify areas for continued practice. Over weeks, you will hear the difference. Your mouth will have become stronger, your tongue more flexible, and your speech more fluent. By mastering common English sounds, you lay the foundation for natural, confident speech. Your brain learns the sound, your mouth learns the movement, and your confidence grows. Step by step, sound by sound, you are training your mouth to speak English clearly and fluently. Chapter 6. Linking words and natural flow. Speaking English fluently is not just about individual words. It is about how words connect, how sentences flow, and how your speech sounds smooth and natural. Native speakers rarely pronounce words separately. Instead, they link sounds together, creating a rhythm that makes speech fast, clear, and easy to understand. Linking is one of the most important skills for building natural English speech. When words are linked, your mouth moves less, and your speech becomes more fluid. For example, the phrase "I want to go" often sounds like "I want to go." The words blend together. Your brain and mouth must learn to move in this connected way. Start by listening carefully to how native speakers connect words. Pay attention to small words, like to, and, of, and the. Notice how they often merge with nearby words instead of being pronounced separately. This is natural English. Shadow what you hear. Repeat the phrases exactly as they sound, not as they are written. Your mouth will gradually learn the flow. Another example is the combination of consonants and vowels at word boundaries. In sit on the chair, the T in sit links smoothly to the O in on. Practice moving from one word to the next, without pausing. Say the phrase slowly at first, then increase speed while keeping the sounds connected. This exercise trains your mouth to move automatically between words. Sentence rhythm is also critical. English has stressed and unstressed syllables. Stress gives your speech melody and makes it easier to understand. In the sentence "I am going to the market," the words "going" and "market" are stressed, while "am" and "to" are lighter. Practice emphasizing the right syllables. Your mouth and voice will adapt to the rhythm naturally. Reduced forms are common in everyday English. Words like going to become gonna, want to becomes wanna, and did you becomes didya. These reductions help speech flow smoothly. Don't fight them. Practice saying these words as native speakers do. Your mouth will learn the natural movement, and your speech will sound more relaxed. Pauses are part of the flow. Speaking too quickly without pausing makes your words run together. Speaking too slowly makes your speech choppy. Practice finding a comfortable pace. Use short pauses to breathe and let your mouth reset. This keeps your speech clear and natural. Shadowing is again very useful here. Choose short sentences or dialogues. Repeat them immediately as you hear them, copying the speed, linking, and stress. Record yourself and listen. Compare your rhythm and flow with native speakers. Adjust until your mouth can follow the natural patterns automatically. Another technique is chunking. Break sentences into manageable groups of words or phrases. Practice each chunk, then combine them. Your mouth will learn to move in longer sequences, not just single words. This builds fluency and confidence. Breathing continues to be important. Proper breath support allows your mouth to move freely. Don't rush. Let your voice flow, using your diaphragm to control energy. This keeps your sentences connected and your speech strong. Daily practice is essential. Speak aloud every day, read short paragraphs, and focus on linking words. Notice how your mouth moves from one sound to the next. Over time, the movement becomes effortless. Your speech will sound natural, smooth and confident. Remember, the goal is not perfection. It is natural movement. Your mouth should feel relaxed, your tongue flexible, and your lips free. The more you practice linking and flowing, the easier speaking becomes. Eventually, your mouth will do this automatically, and English will start to sound like a language you were born to speak. By focusing on linking words and natural flow, you are training your mouth for real-life conversation. Your speech becomes clear, your rhythm confident, and your fluency unstopped. Step by step, phrase by phrase, your English mouth is becoming stronger and more natural every day. Chapter 7. Thinking in English. One of the biggest obstacles to speaking English fluently is translating from your native language in your mind. When you think in your own language first and then try to convert it to English, your speech slows down, your mouth hesitates, you make mistakes, and confidence drops. To speak naturally, you must train your brain to think in English. Next, practice internal dialogue. While walking, commuting, or doing chores, talk to yourself in English. Ask yourself questions and answer them. For example, what will I eat today? Or should I go to the store? This trains your brain to think quickly in English, so your mouth can respond naturally. Thinking in English means forming sentences directly in your mind without using translation. This allows your mouth to move freely, producing words and sounds without delay. It also helps you speak more confidently because you are not mentally juggling two languages at once. Start small. Describe your immediate surroundings in English. Look around the room and name objects, colors, and actions. Say, I see a chair, I am drinking water, or the sun is bright today. Do this silently at first. Then try saying it out loud. Your brain begins to form English sentences automatically. Use simple words and phrases at first. Don't worry about complex sentences. The goal is to make English your default way of thinking. As your practice grows, your sentences become longer and more expressive without forcing your mind to translate. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagine conversations you might have in English. Picture yourself ordering food, asking for directions, or talking to a friend. Visualize the words and sentences forming in your mind. Then, speak them out loud. This practice builds mental and physical fluency simultaneously. Shadowing exercises also support thinking in English. Listen to a native speaker and repeat exactly what they say, but try to imagine you are saying it yourself. Think about the meaning as you speak. Your mouth and brain work together, linking thought and speech seamlessly. Overcoming translation takes time. Your brain is used to thinking in your native language. Be patient. Each day of practice strengthens the connection between your thoughts and your English speech. Slowly, your translation stops, and speaking becomes faster, smoother, and more confident. Listening and repeating are also crucial. Hear the rhythm and structure of English through podcasts, audiobooks, or conversations. Your brain begins to internalize patterns, so forming sentences in English becomes second nature. Your mouth will follow automatically. Daily journaling in English helps train thinking as well. Write a few sentences about your day, your plans, or your feelings. Don't translate. Write directly in English. After a few days, try reading your writing out loud. Your mouth will learn to follow the thoughts naturally. Another tip is to learn chunks of language instead of single words. Memorize short phrases or sentences. When your brain recalls a phrase, your mouth already knows how to produce it naturally. This reduces hesitation and builds fluency. Mistakes will happen, and that is okay. Thinking in English is a skill you develop through action. Each attempt strengthens your mental and physical connection. Over time, hesitation disappears, and your speech flows effortlessly. Speaking naturally in English is a combination of listening, practicing pronunciation, linking words, and thinking directly in English, All these elements work together. When your brain and mouth align, you speak confidently and clearly, without pausing or translating. So, from today, start training your mind. Think in English. Imagine conversations, describe your world, and speak your thoughts aloud. Your mouth will follow your mind, and your English will grow stronger and more fluent every day. Chapter 8. Expanding your vocabulary naturally. A strong vocabulary is essential for speaking English confidently and clearly. The more words you know, the more options your mouth has when expressing your thoughts. But vocabulary is not just about memorizing lists of words. To speak naturally, you need to acquire words in a way your brain and mouth can recall effortlessly. The first step is learning words in context. Words are easier to remember when you see or hear them in sentences rather than isolated lists. For example, instead of memorizing the word diligent alone, learn it in a sentence like, "She is diligent in her studies." Your brain associates meaning, sound, and usage simultaneously, making it easier to recall when speaking. Active use is key. It is not enough to recognize words when reading or listening. You must speak them, take new words and create simple sentences out loud. Say them multiple times, notice how your mouth moves to form the sounds, and practice until it feels natural. Repetition strengthens both memory and pronunciation. Use daily life as a vocabulary classroom. Describe your surroundings, actions, and feelings using new words. For instance, instead of saying, "The weather is nice," you could say, "The weather is pleasant and sunny today." By practicing new words in context, your mouth and mind learn to use them effortlessly in conversation. Flashcards and spaced repetition tools can also help, but they should be combined with speaking practice. Seeing a word on a card is not enough. Say it out loud, make a sentence, and use it in a conversation. Your mouth remembers what your eyes see, and your brain thinks. Reading and listening are powerful tools for vocabulary expansion. Choose books, articles, or audio content suited to your level. Listen and read active. Notice unfamiliar words, guess their meaning from context, then speak them aloud in sentences. This method trains your brain and mouth together. Collocations are another important aspect. Many English words are commonly used together, like make a decision, take a break, or pay attention. Learning words in pairs or groups helps your speech sound natural. Your mouth learns to produce common combinations automatically, improving fluency. Synonyms and variations also strengthen your vocabulary. Learn multiple ways to express the same idea. Instead of always saying happy, try joyful, delighted, or content. Speaking with variety keeps your mouth and brain flexible, ready to express yourself in different situations. Everyday practice is crucial. Spend 10 to 15 minutes daily reviewing new words and using them aloud. Speak sentences, describe your environment, or tell a short story using the words. The more your mouth uses them, the faster they become part of your natural speech. Mistakes are part of the process. You may mispronounce words, mix them up, or forget them. That is normal. Each attempt strengthens your muscle memory and recall ability. Do not hesitate to repeat, correct yourself, and continue. Confidence grows from consistent practice, not from being perfect. Another technique is storytelling. Use new words to create short stories. This connects meaning, sound, and sequence. When you speak the story aloud, your mouth practices rhythm, pronunciation, and flow simultaneously, while your brain solidifies understanding. Finally, review regularly. New vocabulary can fade if not reinforced. Go back to words you learned a few days or weeks ago. Speak them aloud, make sentences, and connect them with new words. This ongoing cycle ensures your vocabulary grows steadily and your mouth remains trained for natural speech. By learning words in context, practicing aloud, and using them in real life, your vocabulary expands naturally. Your brain and mouth work together, making it easier to express thoughts clearly, confidently, and fluent. Each new word is a step towards stronger English communication, and your speech becomes richer, smoother, and more expressive every day. Learning English in isolation is not enough. To speak fluently, you must practice real conversations. Everyday conversation is where your brain and mouth meet in action. It is where listening, thinking, pronunciation, and vocabulary all come together. Regular practice builds confidence, reinforces skills, and makes your speech natural. Start small. Begin with simple greetings and questions. Say hello, how are you, what is your name, and where are you from? Practice these phrases until your mouth can produce them without hesitation. The more automatic these basic sentences become, the easier it will be to build longer conversations. Chapter 9. Practicing everyday conversations. Next, practice responding. Conversations are not one way. First, say the question, then answer it. This trains your mouth to produce English in real situations and prepares your brain for unpredictable dialogue. Listening is critical during conversation practice. Pay attention to how native speakers speak. Notice the rhythm, tone, and linking of words. Repeat sentences you hear to mimic natural flow. Shadowing short dialogues is especially helpful for practicing pronunciation, stress, and intonation. Daily conversations are even better. Talk to friends, family, or language partners in English. Keep sentences simple at first. Focus on clarity, not perfection. Mistakes are normal and necessary. Each conversation strengthens your ability to speak spontaneously and builds muscle memory for your mouth. Ask and answer questions aloud regularly. Describe your surroundings, explain your plans, or share your feelings. Use the vocabulary and phrases you have learned. Speaking aloud every day makes conversation easier and more natural. Your mouth begins to produce English without thinking about each word. Another technique is thinking ahead. Before a conversation, anticipate topics and practice sentences aloud. For example, if you plan to order food, practice phrases like "I would like a sandwich, please," and "Can I have some water?" This prepares your mouth and mind for real-life speaking. Use repetition wisely. Repeat key sentences and phrases multiple times. Each repetition reinforces muscle memory, making it easier to recall and produce the same sentence in future conversation. Repetition is not boring. It is the foundation of fluency. Record yourself during practice. Play back the recording and listen carefully. Notice your pronunciation, rhythm, and flow. Identify areas to improve. Then practice again. Recording provides feedback, helps track progress, and accelerates learning. Be consistent. Practice conversations every day, even if only for a few minutes. Small daily efforts add up quickly. Over time, speaking English will feel natural, comfortable, and effortless. Your mouth will learn to respond quickly. Your brain will form sentences without translating, and your confidence will grow. Remember, conversations are practice and learning opportunities. Focus on expressing ideas rather than perfection. Each interaction strengthens your skills, trains your mouth, and prepares you for more complex communication. By practicing everyday conversations, you bring together all elements of speaking English: listening, thinking, pronunciation, vocabulary, and confidence merge into natural, fluent speech. Each day of practice brings you closer to speaking clearly, smoothly, and confidently in real life. Chapter 10. Using intonation and expression. Expanded version. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice as you speak. It helps convey questions, statements, surprise, excitement, or even subtle emotions like sarcasm or curiosity. For example, in a yes or no question like "Are you coming?" your voice rises at the end. In a statement like "I am going to the store," your voice falls naturally at the end. These small changes in pitch are what make English sound alive. Listening carefully to native speakers and mimicking their intonation trains your mouth and brain to work together producing natural speech without conscious effort. Speaking English fluently is not just about knowing words, grammar, or vocabulary. The way you use your voice can make a huge difference in how others perceive your speech and how confident you feel. Intonation and expression give life to your words. They show emotion, emphasis, and meaning. Without them, English can sound flat, robotic, or difficult to follow. Learning to use your voice naturally is a key step in training your mouth to speak English confidently and clearly. Start by practicing simple sentences with different intonations. Say, I am happy in a cheerful tone, I am happy in a calm tone, and I am happy in a surprised tone. Notice how your mouth, lips, and tongue move slightly differently for each emotion. Your jaw may open wider for excitement. Your lips may stretch for happiness, and your voice may drop for calm statements. This practice trains your mouth and vocal muscles to adapt to different emotional contexts automatically. Stress is equally important. In English, some words in a sentence are emphasized while others are lighter. For example, in the sentence, I really want to go, the words really and go are stressed. Stress helps listeners identify the most important information in your speech. Practicing sentence stress is essential for making your speech sound natural. Start by saying short sentences aloud and deliberately emphasizing the key words. Slowly, your mouth and voice learn to highlight the important parts without thinking. Facial expressions and body movements also play a role. Your face and body are part of communication. When your words match your expressions, your speech becomes convincing and natural. Smile when expressing happiness, frown slightly for concern, or relax your shoulders when speaking calmly. Your mouth, lips, tongue, and even breathing adjust according to the expression, which helps your English sound real rather than artificial. Shadowing is one of the most effective techniques for practicing intonation and expression. Listen to short clips of native speakers and repeat exactly what they say, matching the tone, rhythm, and emotion. Focus on not just the words, but the way the speaker delivers them. Are they excited, questioning, or thoughtful? Your mouth will gradually learn to move automatically with the correct pitch and emphasis. This technique also improves listening skills and trains your brain to anticipate natural speech patterns. Reading aloud is another valuable tool. Take a story, article, or even a short passage and read it as if you are speaking to someone. Pause for punctuation, emphasize important words, and let your voice rise and fall naturally. The more you practice reading with expression, the more your mouth and brain learn how English should sound in real communication. Reading aloud daily builds confidence, trains intonation, and strengthens your pronunciation muscles simultaneously. Recording yourself during practice is highly effective. Choose a paragraph or dialogue and read it aloud with expression. Then play it back and listen carefully. Notice areas where your speech is flat, monotone, or lacks energy. Then practice again, adjusting pitch, stress, and rhythm. Compare recordings over time to track improvement. This feedback loop accelerates learning and helps your mouth and brain internalize natural English intonation. Questions and exclamations deserve special attention. Questions often require rising intonation, especially yes or no questions. Open-ended questions may have a subtle rise in tone at the beginning or middle of the sentence. Exclamations, on the other hand, demand strong emphasis and higher energy. Practicing these separately, aloud and repeatedly, trains your mouth to produce these variations instinctively. Eventually, these intonation patterns become second nature, and your speech sounds lively and engaged. Another technique is storytelling. Use your daily life or imagination to create short stories and speak them aloud. Practice raising your voice for excitement, lowering it for suspense, and pausing for dramatic effect. When your story is expressive, your speech becomes natural and easy to follow. Storytelling combines vocabulary, pronunciation, intonation, and flow, making it one of the most powerful exercises for training your mouth to speak English like a native. Breathing is a crucial but often overlooked part of speaking. Proper breath support ensures your voice remains steady and strong. Many learners rush through sentences, running out of breath and losing control of pitch. Take a deep breath before speaking, and let your voice flow naturally. Use pauses for breathing. Controlled breathing allows your mouth and voice to stay relaxed, helping you maintain rhythm, clarity, and expression. Consistency is key. 10 to 15 minutes of focused intonation and expression practice every day is more effective than sporadic long sessions. Even reading aloud for a few minutes with emotion builds your mouth and vocal muscles gradually. Over weeks you will notice that your speech automatically becomes more expressive and engaging. Practice conversations with a focus on expression. Ask a friend questions, describe your day, or tell a story in English. Apply the techniques you practiced. Rise and fall in your voice, stress important words, and match facial expressions to your tone. Your mouth and brain will gradually coordinate, allowing your speech to flow naturally and confidently. Remember, the goal is not perfection. It is about natural movement, rhythm, and emotion. Your mouth should feel relaxed, your tongue flexible, and your lips free. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Your English speech will sound lively, clear, and engaging, and your listeners will respond better to the energy and clarity in your voice. Intonation and expression turn ordinary words into living communication. They help your mouth speak smoothly, convey meaning, and express emotion effortlessly. By practicing intonation, stress, expression, and rhythm daily, your English becomes powerful, fluent, and natural. Each word, phrase, and sentence trains your mouth and brain to communicate effectively, preparing you for real conversations and confident speech. Speaking with expression also builds your confidence. When you hear your own voice rise and fall naturally, when you notice the energy and clarity in your words, you feel more capable of speaking in front of others. Confidence and natural speech feed each other. As your intonation improves, your fluency grows, and your willingness to speak increases. By mastering intonation and expression, you elevate your speech from correct words to real communication. Your mouth learns to move naturally, your voice conveys meaning, and your conversations become engaging. This is a crucial step in speaking English like a native, confident, and fluent speaker. Every day of practice brings you closer to speaking effortlessly, naturally, and with full expression. With consistent practice, your English will no longer sound flat or hesitant. Your mouth, voice, and brain will work together in harmony. You will see that speak smoothly, clearly, and expressively. You will notice that intonation and expression are not separate skills, but a part of every word you say. They are the essence of natural, fluent English. Chapter 11. Mastering listening for better speaking. Start by listening every day. Choose short audio clips, podcasts, or videos in English. Focus not only on understanding the meaning, but also on how the speaker forms words and sentences. Notice their pronunciation, stress, and rhythm. Your ears must become familiar with the natural flow of English before your mouth can replicate it. Speaking English fluently is closely tied to listening. Your brain and mouth work together, and the clearer your ears, the easier it is to produce accurate, natural speech. Listening is not passive. It is an active process that trains your brain to recognize sounds, rhythms, intonation, and word patterns, which your mouth will later imitate naturally. Pay attention to connected speech. In English, words often blend together, creating smooth transitions. For example, want to becomes wanter, going to becomes gonna, and did you becomes didja. These reductions are common in natural conversation. Listening closely to how they sound and practicing them aloud will help your mouth adapt to real English rhythm. Shadowing is a key technique. Listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat it aloud, exactly as the speaker says it. Try to match the speed, tone, and rhythm. At first, You may need to repeat slowly. Gradually increase speed until your mouth follows the speaker automatically. Shadowing strengthens both listening and speaking muscles at the same time. Pronunciation and listening are connected. Many learners mispronounce words because they have not heard them clearly enough. Listen to difficult sounds repeated. Words like thought, though, and through have subtle differences. Repeat them aloud while focusing on how the tongue, lips and jaw move. Listening first ensures your mouth produces the sound correctly. Intonation patterns also depend on listening. By hearing how sentences rise and fall, where stress occurs, and how questions differ from statements, you train your mouth to replicate natural English. Practice reading sentences aloud immediately after hearing them. Your voice will start to rise and fall naturally with correct intonation. Listening actively is important. Don't just hear words. Analyze them. Notice individual sounds, stressed syllables, linking rhythm and pauses. This conscious listening trains your brain to recognize patterns. Over time, your mouth can follow effortlessly because your brain already knows what comes next. Try dictation exercises. Listen to short sentences and write them down. Then read them aloud, paying attention to stress, intonation, and rhythm. Dictation forces you to notice details in pronunciation and word connections. It also improves spelling and reinforces memory for how words are formed and spoken. Use repetition consistently. Listen to the same audio several times. Each time, your brain and mouth internalize more details. Repeat sentences aloud until your mouth produces the correct sounds and rhythm automatically. Consistency is key to building muscle memory and confidence in speaking. Listen to different accents and voices. English is spoken in various ways around the world. Exposure to different speakers trains your ears to adapt, making your mouth more flexible. Don't get discouraged if you can't understand immediately. Focus on the rhythm and sounds first. Meaning will follow with practice. Incorporate listening into daily life. Listen while commuting, exercising, or doing chores. Even passive listening is helpful as long as your brain focuses on pronunciation and flow. Combine listening with occasional speaking practice to reinforce your learning. Ask yourself questions while listening. For example, when watching a video, pause and summarize what you heard aloud. Describe it in your own words. This turns listening into an active process, forcing your mouth to produce English while reinforcing comprehension. Listening also teaches timing. Native speakers often speak quickly, linking words and dropping some sounds. Regular exposure helps your mouth learn the pace of natural speech. Over time, you will notice that your own speaking speed becomes more natural and confident. Confidence grows through listening. The more you hear English spoken naturally, the less you fear making mistakes. Your brain begins to anticipate sounds and sentence structures, so your mouth moves automatically. Listening builds understanding, which builds confidence, which makes speaking easier. Finally, patience is vital. Listening skills develop gradually. At first, you may feel overwhelmed by fast speech or unfamiliar sounds. That is normal. With consistent, focused practice, your ears become tuned to English, and your mouth learns to reproduce what you hear naturally. Chapter 12. Practicing speaking under pressure. By mastering listening, you create a strong foundation for fluent speech. Your brain recognizes patterns, your mouth builds muscle memory, and your confidence grows. Listening and speaking become inseparable. Each day of focused listening strengthens your ability to speak English clearly, naturally, and confidently. Start by understanding what pressure does to your body and mind. When you feel nervous, your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, and your mouth may dry out. This is natural. Recognize these signs as normal reactions rather than obstacles. Awareness helps you manage pressure effectively. Speaking English fluently is one thing in practice, but speaking confidently under pressure is a different challenge. Pressure can come from conversations with strangers, work situations, presentations, or moments when you feel judged. When nerves rise, your mouth freezes, your words stumble, and fear takes over. Training your mouth to speak English under pressure requires preparation, repetition, and mental strategies. Visualization is a powerful tool. Before entering a high-pressure situation, imagine yourself speaking clearly and confidently. Picture yourself forming words easily, smiling, and being understood. Visualization trains your brain to associate pressure with success instead of fear. Your mouth follows what your mind imagines, making actual speaking easier. Practice speaking with time limits. Set a timer for 1 to 2 minutes and speak continuously on a topic. Focus on fluency rather than perfection. This exercise simulates real-life pressure where you need to speak without overthinking. Over time, your mouth adapts to producing words confidently, even when the clock is running. Breathing is crucial under pressure. Take slow, deep breaths before speaking. This calms your nervous system, relaxes your mouth and jaw, and allows your voice to flow naturally. Controlled breathing ensures that even when anxious, your speech remains clear, steady, and confident. Role-playing difficult situations help. Pretend you are in a job interview, giving a presentation, or asking a stranger for directions. Speak aloud, practice common phrases, and anticipate potential questions. Role-playing builds mental preparedness, reducing hesitation when the real moment arrives. Recording yourself under pressure is another effective method. Speak aloud on a random topic without preparation, then listen back. Notice areas where your mouth hesitated, your words stumbled, or your tone dropped. Practice again, gradually improving clarity, speed, and expression. Recording helps track progress and desensitizes your mouth and brain to pressure. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control how fast someone speaks, whether they will understand perfectly or how they judge you, but you can control your pronunciation, vocabulary, and tone. By focusing on producing clear, confident speech, your mouth learns to perform under pressure. Speaking with a friend or mentor simulates real pressure safely. Ask them to give feedback, interrupt, or ask questions. Practice responding calmly, using clear pronunciation and appropriate intonation. These small challenges train your mouth to produce English naturally, even when the situation is unpredictable. Use simple sentences when nervous. Complex grammar can cause hesitation. Stick to basic structures, clear vocabulary, and short phrases. Your mouth and brain work faster when the sentence is simple, allowing fluency even in stressful moments. Gradually, as confidence grows, longer and more complex sentences will come naturally. Practice mental preparation as well. Before speaking, review your ideas silently. Choose key words and imagine forming sentences. Mental rehearsal reduces hesitation and makes your mouth move more fluidly during the actual conversation. Mindset matters. Accept that mistakes may happen. Perfection under pressure is unrealistic. Mistakes are part of learning and growth. Every time your mouth moves despite fear, you strengthen neural pathways and muscle memory. Each attempt builds confidence and fluency. Daily exposure to pressure situations, even in small doses, is key. Speak in front of a mirror, narrate your actions, or record yourself answering questions quickly. These mini-pressure exercises condition your mouth to move smoothly, your brain to think fast, and your voice to remain steady. Listening under pressure is also helpful. Pay attention to how native speakers handle conversations in real-life situations, interviews, meetings, or debates. Notice how they maintain rhythm, stress, and intonation under time constraints. Imitate their approach during your own practice. Another technique is controlled pauses. When you feel overwhelmed, pause briefly, take a breath, and continue. Pauses are not mistakes. They give your mouth time to prepare, your brain time to think, and your voice time to regain strength. Using pauses effectively improves clarity and confidence under pressure. Over time, speaking under pressure becomes natural. The mouth learns to produce words clearly, even when the heart races. The brain learns to think quickly, and the voice learns to stay steady. Gradually, fear diminishes, replaced by confidence and control. Dedicate at least 15 to 20 minutes every day to speaking practice. This could include reading aloud, repeating sentences, shadowing dialogues, or describing your surroundings. Short, consistent practice is more effective than occasional long sessions. Your mouth and brain remember movements better when they are repeated frequently. Fluent English speaking does not happen overnight. Confidence grows slowly through consistent, focused practice. Your mouth, tongue, lips, jaw, and brain need time to adjust to new sounds, rhythms, and sentence patterns. Confidence is built step by step, and each session of practice strengthens both your speech and self-assurance. Celebrate small victories. Pronouncing a difficult word correctly, using a new phrase naturally, or completing a short dialogue without hesitation is progress. Acknowledging these successes builds confidence. Your brain and mouth recognize achievement, making future attempts easier and more automatic. Recording yourself is essential for confidence building. Choose a passage, read it aloud, and listen to your recording. Identify areas of improvement but also note your progress. Repeatedly hearing your own clear, expressive speech reinforces self-belief. Over time, you will notice improvement in fluency, pronunciation, and expression, which fuels confidence. Practice speaking to yourself in English throughout the day. Narrate your actions, describe your thoughts, or ask and answer questions aloud. This private practice reduces fear of making mistakes, allowing your mouth to move freely without hesitation. Speaking to yourself daily prepares you for real conversation. Engage in conversations with friends, language partners, or mentors. Start with short, simple exchanges and gradually increase complexity. The more you use English in real-life situations, the more your mouth learns to produce words naturally, under pressure. Each successful interaction reinforces confidence and fluency. Positive self-talk is powerful. Replace thoughts like "I can't speak English" or "I will make mistakes" with affirmations such as "I am improving every day," "I can express myself clearly," or "My English is becoming more fluent." These mental shifts strengthen your resolve and reduce anxiety. Your mouth will follow your mind, speaking more freely and confidently. Consistency in practicing pronunciation and intonation builds natural confidence. Focus on challenging sounds, linking words, and expressive speech. Repeat sentences, shadow audio recordings, and read aloud with emotion. Your mouth learns correct movement, and your voice gains strength and clarity. Confidence grows naturally from repeated success. Visualization techniques further enhance confidence. Imagine yourself speaking fluently in conversations, presentations, or meetings. Picture your mouth forming words smoothly, your voice clear and expressive, and listeners understanding easily. Mental rehearsal trains your brain and mouth to perform confidently in real situations. Mistakes are part of growth. Every error provides feedback for improvement. Your mouth and brain learn what to adjust for better clarity and fluency. Accept mistakes as natural, continue practicing, and do not fear judgment. Each attempt builds resilience and strengthens your ability to speak under pressure. Learning vocabulary actively contributes to confidence. When you know the words to express yourself, your mouth moves freely, and hesitation decreases. Practice using new words in sentences aloud. The brain and mouth coordinate effortlessly, reinforcing fluency and self-assurance. Daily exposure to diverse English materials also builds confidence. Listen to podcasts, watch videos, or read articles aloud. Reproduce accents, intonation, and rhythm. The more you familiarize your ears and mouth with natural English, the more comfortable and confident your speech becomes. Consistency, patience, and repetition are the core of confidence building. Your brain learns sentence patterns, your mouth memorizes movement, and your voice develops strength and clarity. Each day of focused practice contributes to the long-term goal of fluent, confident English communication. Set achievable challenges for yourself. Participate in conversations, record short speeches, or narrate stories aloud. Each challenge pushes your comfort zone slightly, training your mouth to speak under different conditions. Over time, these small challenges build a solid foundation of confidence. Combine listening, speaking, and thinking in English every day. Shadow dialogues, repeat sentences, describe daily life, and answer questions aloud. The coordination of these skills ensures your mouth, brain, and voice are fully aligned. Fluent, confident speech emerges naturally from consistent practice. By committing to consistent practice, you gradually eliminate hesitation, reduce fear of mistakes, and build natural, expressive speech. Confidence grows with each successful attempt, each clear sentence, and each smooth conversation. Over time, speaking English becomes a comfortable, automatic, and empowering skill. Chapter 14. Expanding fluency through real-life practice. Fluency in English is not achieved solely through study or repetition. True fluency comes from using English in real-life situations where your brain, mouth, and voice are challenged to produce clear, natural speech. Practicing in real contexts strengthens your communication skills, builds confidence, and trains your mouth to speak effortlessly. Start by using English in everyday life. Describe your surroundings, narrate your actions, or talk to yourself about your plans and feelings. For example, while cooking, say I am chopping vegetables. Or, while walking, say, the sky is cloudy today. Speaking aloud regularly helps your mouth become comfortable forming words naturally, even outside structured exercises. Seek opportunities for conversation with others. Join language exchange programs, attend social meetups, or speak with friends who are fluent in English. Even short interactions like ordering food, asking for directions, or chatting about the weather are valuable. Each real conversation challenges your brain to think in English and your mouth to produce fluent speech under natural conditions. Shadowing real-life dialogues is another effective technique. Listen to podcasts, interviews, or conversational videos, then repeat aloud exactly what you hear. Focus not just on the words, but on the rhythm, intonation, and emotional expression. Your mouth learns to follow the natural flow of English speech automatically. Participate in group discussions or online forums where spoken English is encouraged. Listening and responding to multiple speakers teaches your brain to process English rapidly. Your mouth adapts to produce coherent, fluent sentences even when the conversation is fast-paced or unpredictable. Role-playing common scenarios prepares you for real interactions. Imagine situations like introducing yourself, giving directions, or explaining your hobbies. Speak both sides of the conversation aloud. Practicing in this way trains your mouth and brain to react quickly, reduces hesitation, and increases confidence. Record yourself speaking about real topics. Summarize your day, explain a concept, or describe a story. Listen to the recording and note areas for improvement. Then practice again, focusing on clarity, rhythm, and natural intonation. Repeated recording and playback reinforce muscle memory and improve overall fluency. Practice thinking in English during conversations. Avoid translating from your native language. Form sentences directly in English. This trains your mouth to respond naturally and reduces pauses or hesitations. Over time, your brain and mouth align, making speech more fluent and spontaneous. Expanding fluency also means using idioms and natural expression. Phrases like, I am looking forward to it, that sounds great, or let me think, are common in everyday conversation. Practice using these phrases aloud in sentences. They help your speech sound natural and fluent, not forced or textbook-like. Challenge yourself with different topics. Speak about work, hobbies, current events, or personal experiences. Diverse subjects expand vocabulary and sentence structures, helping your mouth adapt to various contexts. The more situations you practice, the more confident and versatile your speech becomes.